Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank y'all guys for supporting me and subscribing. So don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. So today is actually going to be something a little different. It doesn't have to do with makeup or my TikToks. So I do thank everybody who do comment, on my videos that I upload, but this one's going to be a little bit different. This is going to be more of an awareness based off of pretty much something that happened to me personally. So I really want to get it out there and just make it aware for everybody, just so it can be talked about more, noticed more, and really be aware of it, because what I'm about to tell you guys is something that actually does happen in this crazy world that we live in. So again, like I said, so just a little disclaimer, it does have to do with drugs. It does have to do a little bit with just things that are real sensitive. So I am not making this video to offend anybody, to make anybody feel any type of way. Again, I really want to make this an awareness video because, like I said, this stuff does happen. So again, guys, I am not trying to offend nobody. So if you do watch this video, I do apologize ahead in advance, because again, I am not trying to offend you. I am not trying to make anybody feel any type of way. Because what I'm about to tell you guys is something that sat with me and is still sitting with me, and I don't like the feeling. So it's just more of an awareness. So again, guys, I do apologize. So this video is going to be a little story time. So it is going to be about me. So just a heads up, if I do get a little emotional, it's because it still sits with me and it's still kind of, I'm not really comfortable with it. So I'm gonna start off with having pretty much a day out. This happened about pretty much a week ago, and it was on a Sunday. So our original plans were to go to the river that day. Hopefully the weather was good. We were gonna go float the river, but it ended up not being that. The weather kind of changed, so our plans changed at that, the same time. So we decided to go to the flea market, and we actually had to go to the flea market because we had purchased like a long welcome board for our front porch. So I went ahead and I invited, my mom and my sister and her girlfriend, to kind of come out, enjoy the day at the flea market. And that's all we thought we were going to do, was just go to the flea market. So we get there, we're walking around, looking at everything, we pick up our board, and we decide to get a margarita from there, which I love the margaritas from the flea market. Like, don't get me wrong, I love them. So we had that. My mom enjoyed a funnel cake, and we were just sitting there, kind of walking around, chit-chatting, and we were like, hey, like, you know what? My sister was like, well, let's go to Market Square. And I was like, I had been wanting to go to Market Square. And Market Square here in San Antonio is pretty much a place where you can, enjoy some food, music, drinks, vendors, people selling things and stuff like that. So we went ahead and we went to the Market Square, and there, of course, one thing that I like doing there at the Market Square is they sell these most amazing micheladas. Like, oh my god, I had never liked micheladas until my husband made them, and he makes me some good micheladas. But at this particular location, at the Market Square, is like my fave. So I had me a few of those. We had a margarita, we were eating, we were dancing, just having a good old time. So my sister was like, well, hey, let's go scooting downtown. Well, of course, they have the little scooters that you can ride on. You download the app and you ride until you're like done. So we're scooting, and we get to this other location, which is, I guess like a barbecue place. I had never been there. Nobody has ever been there. So we get there, I order a drink. We get, my sister, her girlfriend get a drink. My husband gets a drink. And my mom wasn't drinking that day. She was pretty much like our DD driver. So, we get there, we, enjoy our drinks. We go outside, sit outside. It's real nice out there. And, we're sitting there and we're chit-chatting, and we have a gentleman that kind of passes by and gets into our conversation. How he got into our conversation, I cannot remember that. But he got into our conversation. So he sat there, my husband bought him a shot. And, we were just sitting there, enjoying our drinks, chit-chatting. He was telling us about, his life. We were kind of just going into conversation, things like that. So then he's like, well, when I usually get out of work, which the place that we were at, I guess he works there. So he was just like, well, when I usually get out of here, I usually go to Coyote Ugly, which Coyote Ugly is another club or bar that's along downtown. And it's pretty much kind of off the Riverwalk. So he's like, yeah, like I go there after work, have a few drinks, whatever. So we're like, oh, we'll go ahead and we'll join you, So we go, we're walking, we're laughing, we're chit-chatting, and we're walking to, to Coyote Ugly. So we get to Coyote Ugly, and we sit outside, and then I go inside, and I sit with my sister at the bar, and we're, ordering shots there. And, we're just there, we're chit-chatting, we're having a conversation, like a personal conversation at that. And then this is where it gets kind of crazy. That is the last thing I remember. And when I say that, yes, we were drinking, but we weren't drinking to where we got so drunk. Like, yes, we had a good buzz, but we were not like completely hammered, like at all. Because we remember every detail before that, like before getting to Coyote Ugly, everything before that, we remember all of it. So after that, I don't remember anything. My sister doesn't remember anything. The last thing my sister remembers is talking to me at the bar. My sister's girlfriend, last thing she remembers was sitting outside with like my mom and my husband and, the gentleman that was with us. Well, after that, we don't know what happened. I woke up under a bridge in the downtown area, which was a parking lot of the downtown area. And pretty much where these parking lots are at are parking lots where the biggest events that happen downtown, those parking lots get super, super full. There's like no parking or whatnot. When I woke up, my husband wasn't around. My mom wasn't around. My sister wasn't around. My sister's girlfriend wasn't around. I didn't have a phone. I didn't have an ID. I didn't have no money. I didn't have no way of contacting my family. I don't know where my family was. And I went back to the location where we had parked, which I was not that far from where that parking lot was, like where we parked at. The distance from where I woke up at to the distance that I last remember I was at is a pretty far distance, guys. Like, if a person was really, really intoxicated to a point where they could not walk, there was no way that I could have walked that distance and then wake up under a bridge. So after walking towards that parking lot and not seeing my sister's vehicle there, scared the hell out of me, guys. Like, to know that I woke up alone and no one to be around or to be found is the most scariest feeling you can have. Like, I started crying and I walked by a police station, which is like the main police department that's downtown, and I was scared to go inside, which I know I should have, but of course, like I said, I was, intoxicated and I did not want to get in trouble. So I walked and I walked. And guys, like, when we were there at this Coyote Ugly location, like, it was daytime. And when I woke up under the bridge, it was nighttime. So the gap, I'm not sure how long I was gone, how I got there, what happened. There's no blur. Like, there's not like, oh, I remember doing this right after that, or after the bar, or walking out, or like nothing. I don't remember nothing. But I can remember everything else, everything before, like in the morning that I said that we were at the flea market, going to the market square, going to this other location, meeting this person, like everything. But to wake up under a bridge with no one to be seen, or none of my family members around, and not having a phone or anything to contact my family. The only thing I did have was my watch, which of course your watch only works if your phone is close by or if you're connected to Wi-Fi. I could not get a hold of anybody through my watch, and I would have prayed that I would have, but I didn't. So I'm walking in the dark, and I go into this one hotel, and I kind of just walk into the lobby, like just walk in, go all the way through past, the front desk, just as if I was like, somebody that stayed there. But my thing was, I was walking in there to see if there was like a phone close by so I can get a hold of my family. No phone, nothing. So I walk right back out. I pass, the front desk, and I continue walking. So I get to another hotel. I get to the other hotel, and I go to the front desk and I ask, can I use a phone? And the person's like, no, I'm sorry, you have to be a guest here. If you're not a guest here, I can't let you the phone. I was not gonna fight it. I was already terrified. I was already scared. So I walk back out. I continue walking. I hear music, like a bar or like a club or something. I hear music. So in my head, I'm thinking like, okay, it's already like really late. Like, it's almost like people are already leaving. Maybe it's already like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, I didn't even pay attention to like the time on my clock. Like, if I looked at my clock, I looked at it like really, really fast, and I didn't really like see the time. But I'm thinking like, it's late, people are out, they're drinking, I don't want to bump into somebody, and they're drunk or whatever. So I kind of like rushed, and there was a hotel right across the street from that location. So another hotel, I go in that one, and I asked the front desk person, like, hey, is there any way that I can use a phone? And they're like, well, do you stay here? And I was like, no. And they're like, well, I'm sorry, you have to be a guest here in order for us to use the phone, like for you to use the phone. So again, I wasn't gonna argue. Again, like I said, I was already scared. So I continue walking, and a part of the area that I walked through were nothing but homeless people. A few homeless people, here and there. And I quickly like walked a different direction to where I could get closer to like the main highway. So I'm walking along like an access road, and I see another hotel, and I'm praying to God that they, will let me use a phone. Like, I'm already running out of options. I'm walking in the dark. I'm by myself. I'm a female walking in the dark by herself, like not knowing what happened, like how I ended up where I ended up. So I go into this hotel and I ask the front desk, like, is there any way that I can use a phone? And their person again was like, I'm sorry, if you don't stay here, I can't lend you a phone. And I was like, okay. So in my head, I'm just like, how am I gonna do this? Like, I'm by a major highway. How am I gonna get through these little streets to like try to walk home or try to do something? Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So a gentleman that I thought was checking in to the hotel was there when I asked if I could use a phone. He sees that I'm walking out, and I see him, and I'm like, hey, do you have a cell phone that I can use? And he's like, yeah. He's like, are you okay? And I was like, no, like I woke up under a bridge and I can't find my family. So he lent me his phone, thank God. And the first person that came to my head was my oldest son. I call my oldest son, and he is crying. Mom, where are you? Where are you at? Mom, tell me where you're at. And I tell him, and I'm like, Daddy, like, I'm sorry. Like, I woke up under a bridge. I don't know what happened. He's like, Mom, just tell me where you're at so I can go pick you up. So he comes and he picks me up. And we go and meet up with the rest of my family. And when I mean the rest of my family, I mean my other two kids, my mom, my dad, my son's girlfriend, my other son's girlfriend's mom, and they all met up at one location. All of them were looking for me. All of them were looking for me. I don't know how long I was gone, but to hear everybody tell me what happened, or what, like my mom, I talked to my mom and I'm like, Mom, what happened? And she's like, Vanessa, I don't know. You came outside and something was said and you were, just cussing me out. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah. She goes, I decided to get the keys and I went to go get the car and I was leaving. And that's all she remembers. So then they tell me they can't, my sister was found somewhere else. From what I was told is I told my husband, like when my mom left, that I followed my mom, and I told my husband to stay with my sister. And after that, kind of everybody like split up. My sister's girlfriend was nowhere to be found. My sister was with my husband. My mom went to go get the car. And then when we met up there, like when we're all talking, we still couldn't find my sister's girlfriend. My sister was fine. She had her moment. And my sister's girlfriend was nowhere to be found. The other crazy thing was that they found my phone near a bus stop, and they found my sister's girlfriend's phone that was turned into the police station. What's crazy about that, and how I'm being told this, is that they were calling and calling and calling and calling the phones, just calling and calling and calling and calling. With my phone, somebody answered, and come to find out, it was a homeless person that answered my phone. With my sister's girlfriend, it was somebody else that answered her phone, and her phone was the one that was actually getting turned into the police station. None of that sounds right. Who gets a phone, stays with the phone, and answers a phone? From what I know, when people find phones, their very first instinct is to turn off the phone and not let it be found, and then do whatever they need to do with that phone. You don't ever hear somebody turning in a phone. So for that lady to turn in my sister's girlfriend's phone to the police station was weird, because just what they were saying that she was saying, that she didn't want to get in trouble, she didn't want to be involved, just didn't sound right. So with the homeless person, she kind of just said like, oh, she found the phone and she didn't want to get in trouble either, so she just left it where they found it, which was at the same location where everybody kind of met up at. That's where they found my phone. So then I'm talking to the police officers, and the police come and they're talking to me, and I'm giving them information. I'm trying to look for my sister's girlfriend, and they're like, well, do you know anything about her? Like, what happened? And I was like, to be honest with you, I really don't know what happened. The last thing I remember is being at the bar. That's the last thing I remember. And that I woke up under the bridge. So thankfully, my son's girlfriend was able to track my sister's phone, which my sister didn't have her phone either. So she was able to track her phone, and we followed the address, and come to find out, my sister's girlfriend was able to make it home. How she was able to make it home, we have no idea. So when we got to her, she was fine. She was home, and she was like, yeah, friend, like I walked, and then I got in a bus, and that was it. Well, the crazy thing that she told me was the gentleman that was with us that night followed her when she was walking and got on the same bus that she got onto. So we're trying to get things all figured out. And guys, to go through that and not know what happened to us makes us think that we were drugged, we were spiked. Because for us to not remember anything than what we remember that night before, like, it's crazy. It doesn't make no sense at all. Like, none whatsoever. So I tell you this story because it has still sat with me, and the reason it sits with me is because I could have been raped, I could have been kidnapped, I could have even been killed. And thankfully, I wasn't. But for them to tell me that my kids got a call that their mother was missing is not a call that a child should get. Not even a parent should get when their kids go missing. So I want to make this an awareness for young women, hell, even young men. Watch your surroundings. Watch who you hang with. Watch your drink. Please watch your drink. Because to know or not know if we were spiked that night is one of the scariest things that I have ever felt in my life. Like, reading on that stuff, that what you can get spiked with and all the symptoms that come with it was pretty much all the symptoms that I had that night. And to know that I could have possibly been spiked and something worse could have happened to me, guys, it's the scariest thing ever. And I want to say what I feel saved me that night from possibly anything happening to me was the way I was dressed. And when I tell you I was dressed the most comfortable way possible, I had a sweater that was not even that much cut off, but it was cut off the shoulder. I had some leggings. I had some mixed match socks and some sandals. Like, I was really comfortable. My hair pulled up in a bun, in a messy bun. I was comfortable. So I say that I might have been saved because of that. Because I think if I was dressed a different way, you know, with my makeup done, my hair done, a cute little outfit, I may not be making this video right now, to be honest with you. So I can honestly say that the way I was dressed that day may have saved me. But still doesn't make it right for nobody to try to help me. You know what I mean? Like, I might have blended in with maybe the homeless people that they're so used to seeing all the time in that downtown area, but doesn't make it right for them to refuse service to somebody that's possibly, what if something did actually happen to me? Physically, I felt fine. I had everything on. Nothing was ripped. Nothing seemed different. There was nothing, you know, physically within me that I felt different. I think I would have felt different if something physical would have happened to me. I would have had, you know, scratches, something would have showed me that something else happened. Thankfully, nothing worse happened to me that night, but still doesn't give the right to anybody to try not to help you. Like, if you see that this person is not there or is asking you for a phone, help that person. Help that person, even if it's just a call, just to make a call. Because that night, like I said, could have been worse. It could have been worse. It could have been way worse. But thankfully, yes, I am home safe. I am with my kids. Everybody is fine. But to be honest with you guys, I am not fine. Because the what ifs sit with me. What if I did get kidnapped? What if I did get raped? What if something worse happened to me and my kids get that phone call? They should have never gotten that phone call in the first place. So to feel that I was possibly drugged that night is something that I want to make an awareness, because it does happen. It is something that does happen on a day-to-day basis. You do read about people getting drugged, people getting raped, people, you know, this and this and this. When I was talking to the officer that night, guys, the crazy thing that he told me and made me believe and really think that I was drugged was the fact that he said that they had been getting calls about human trafficking in that downtown area. Guys, we had not been downtown since this whole pretty much pandemic started. Like, so for us to hear that is pretty crazy, that they would get calls, you know, of ladies getting kidnapped, you know, people getting drugged, human trafficking happening. Like, it was just mind-blowing. Like, it is crazy. So yes, I do believe that we were drugged that night. Yes, I do believe that, because there is no way in hell that we could remember everything else, and all the little stuff that they were saying was just not adding up. Like, so this is why I wanted to do this video. I wanted to make an awareness that this stuff is out there, guys, and please be very careful on who you're with, who you hang out with, who you talk to. You know, yes, it's good to make, you know, new friends, but new friends are always good. You know, we don't know, yes, we don't know who this person was that we talked to that night. You know, we start talking about it, and we just, you know, start thinking like, hey, what if he had something, you know, to do with it? What if, you know, that's why he said, hey, you know, this is where I go all the time, you know, to this place, you know, they give me drinks, I have drinks all the time, you know, I know the bartender. So it's like, what if they were in cahoot, like together, like, hey, if you bring people, you know, we can hook you up, like whatever. Like, to think that stuff, like to think that in your head that could possibly be the actual truth, but we don't know. But to just think it, like the what ifs, like what if this guy was involved, what if he was the one that, you know, did something, or, you know, just for the fact that he was even following my sister's girlfriend walking, or, you know, getting in the bus with her, like, why? You know? And then, you know, my husband thinks like, well, maybe they should have drugged me too. You know, the best way to do it is to get rid of, you know, the alpha and kind of get the women. But no, like, I think a man can kind of deal with a little more compared to a female. You know, the females don't, their bodies can't handle a lot of stuff like men can. So like I said, guys, like this is more of an awareness video to be very careful. Again, you know, now I'm so traumatized by this situation that I don't want nobody making my drink. I don't want to go anywhere that they make my drink. Like, I want to be able to see the person bring me my drink. Like, it's so scary. Like, I do not want anything like that to happen to anybody else, because in reality, this stuff does happen. This stuff is out there. This stuff is going on all over the world. And to know that it's hitting a little bit closer to home is crazy. Like, it is so crazy that it makes you more scared for the younger generation, because now this younger generation is so full of life, so full of wanting to do this and wanting to try this and wanting to try that and anything. But those are the targets, you know, for human trafficking. Young women, young children are the targets. They're the victims for this stuff. How is it right for somebody in their right mind to wake up and be like, I'm gonna target this young person and I'm gonna drug them and do whatever needs to be done, or whatever the case may be? There's some people that make it out of it fine. I'm truly blessed that I made it. And there's some people that are not that lucky, guys, that are not that lucky when stuff like that happens to them. I've read about it. I've seen videos about it. I've seen newsletters about it. Like, this stuff really does happen, and it's not getting any better. And I feel that we really needed to make it an awareness, especially with bars and clubs and stuff like that. You know, of course, a lot of people want to go out and enjoy a night out, but not enjoy a night out and something like this happening to them. Like, that was nobody's intentions of, you know, having a day to where you were gonna get so messed up and not remember that night. Like, no. And just the way it happened, like, it just didn't make sense at all to me. So it's like, I've had nights where I tell my husband, like, you've seen me where I've been super intoxicated, where I can't even walk. So if I was not that intoxicated, then how did I get from the location we were at to the location where I was woken up, like where I woke up at? How? With nobody stopping me, not even the cops, because downtown area, you have your bike cops and you have your regular cops that are out there. Like, how did I not get stopped? Even if I was that intoxicated, somebody would have stopped me. Somebody would have stopped me. And that wasn't the case. So to not remember, not even walking in that direction is mind-blowing to me. Like, so mind-blowing to me. Like, it's super, super crazy. So again, guys, like I said, like, I want to make this an awareness for y'all guys to please be safe. Please watch your surroundings, because again, this stuff is happening. There is people trying to human traffic, trying to kidnap, trying to drug people, trying to do anything possible to get somebody. So again, guys, I ask you, please, 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 please be very careful with your surroundings, who you're with, the people you hang out with, what you drink. Just please, please, please be very safe. So that is my story time, guys. Again, like I said, I was not coming on here to offend nobody. You know, this happened to me, and I just want to make it an awareness, because it is happening. It is out there. It is happening. Like, we cannot avoid it. It is happening. So like I said, please just be safe and take care of yourself, guys, please. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video, guys. Thank y'all for watching this. Y'all may share this, you know, just to make it awareness of, you know, this possibly happening. Hopefully you can save somebody, you know, to let them know just to be careful. So yes, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump off my channel. And guys, again, please like, subscribe, share, and I will be back on here to make, you know, more videos, even if it has to be of awareness, whatever the case may be. If I have to make more videos like this, guys, I will. But yes, this was just more of a different video compared to like my makeups, you know, my TikTok videos that I upload. But this was something that I felt that I really, really needed to talk about and really get out there. So guys, please share. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see y'all next time. Thank y'all, guys. I love y'all. Bye.